So look, I got a question for Di, and that's tough. I had a question for Di. So, because I know I got a couple of relatives of mine who experienced SA and they never came forward. So I can understand where you're coming from, where some women don't talk about it. But my question to you is, if the majority of women who experience SA, or if the majority of these women who experience SA don't come forward, how can we assume it's a leading cause of single motherhood without evidence to support that?
She, she didn't say that, bro.
So she didn't say that that was the cause of single
Yeah,
motherhood
no,
earlier?
she was just no, she was just somebody asked her, why would a woman trigger my ask, why would women not want to give the child to the father? And she was just giving reasons why a woman might not. That doesn't necessarily mean that she's saying that most of these women are not giving the child because they've been essayed in the past. She was just dropping reasons.
I mean, even that reason is it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how that.
No,
Is that what
if
you
a
said,
woman
Doc?
is gonna sleep with a dude, then try to call him a sexual deviant after the fact, that it doesn't make sense. Women don't want to give.
I mean, we ain't saying that it has to make
No,
I
sense,
mean,
but
let's
she
let's
said a
just be
lot of
honest,
she
bro.
said a
Let's
lot of
just be
women
honest.
are SA,
It's
but
a
they
lot
don't
of
come.
shit that don't make sense. That word in general don't make sense. What are you
No,
talking
but
about?
what we want to do is stay away from the extremes, like Trev said.
Like,
Those are the extremes. That's not what anybody's really doing. Like just be honest. Most people are normal. They mad at each other. The relationship didn't work. They didn't communicate. Let's just stay on that
Hold on,
wavelength, right?
wait.
no,
Doc,
because that's
did you
not
not?
my situation. But I know a lot of women, when I hear them talk, when I hear them say things that they're worried about, it could even be like for instance, the trauma that women endures when they experience that, based on what I've heard, it can be somebody outside the family. They're not even
Mhm.
safe with the family no more once that happens to them. You know what I'm saying? They become to the point where it could be their dad, it could be a brother, you know what I'm saying? Somebody outside the family could do this to them. And now when a man approaches them, the trigger that can put into the brain can affect whether they like, I know he'll never do it, but I need this to make me feel safe. You know what I'm saying? When I hear them
I
talking about it, I
understand.
need this
So
to make
so
me
hold on.
feel
So
safe
let me
for me to be able to function correctly.
let
That's
me
Yeah,
what I
hold.
clear
hear
let me
from them.
clear up something.
And I don't
Well,
understand why that's being the main topic when I think it's more women out here doing it for meal tickets than that in itself.
that's what I
I
was
just
saying.
thought
She
that
was just
as a
listing reasons.
reason.
We're
All
trying to hop in on one of the reasons but she gave like 4 different reasons, but we're trying to
okay.
make that one
Okay.
reason
So
the
she
main.
didn't. So to be clear, she didn't say. She's not saying that if women actually accurately reported SA, the numbers would lean more towards the reason for single motherhood would lean more towards SA.
No, she's not even saying that. She's not
She's
saying
not
that at
saying
all.
that, right?
No, she's not
Okay,
even
I was
alluding
just
to that.
making sure that that wasn't what being said.
I would argue, to answer Trigger Mike's question, the reason why I think majority of women don't give the child to the father is because they think the child belongs to them.
I think so.
I
Yeah.
think that's the main reason
I think so.
why majority of women don't hand over custody to the father, is because they feel like the child. Okay, let me caveat that, because I do think that women have also a duty to their children, that that underlying judgment that they feel like they may get if they want to give up their children. So I think there is also more to it. I think they feel that the child belongs to them, and that they are the ones that are obligated to take care of that child. So they may feel some type of way giving up custody of their child.
It's
Yeah.
an
And
emotional
I think that's where
attachment.
most women fall in the
Well,
category of.
It's an
let me.
emotional attachment because
Yeah.
my child's father tried to take my child when we first had her. I felt
Mhm.
like it was out of spite because he wasn't stable. But my main thing was like I felt like I needed her. Like that's what emotion can do to your brain. It makes you
What
feel
about what
like
the
you
child
need
needs?
them. Like
I mean, that comes
no, but
later
I
though.
felt
But,
like she
but
needed me when based on his stability and everything that I didn't really explain, but I felt like she needed me. And I felt like it's just for my situation. Like I know a lot of mothers say that, like they just like she need me, and it's not that they don't they don't need y'all. I don't think that's the case. But when you grow up in a household without a father, you really don't understand the importance of one, especially when a lot of women is just putting it based on financial. If you can make your own money now I feel like she needs me. And I don't think women do it intentionally or think that way intentionally, but I do think a lot of women like, oh, it's mine because we held it for 10 months. So that's another
Yeah.
thing that could make us be
I
entitled.
think
But I
that
would
I
never
agree
keep my
on that
kid
point,
away
Di.
from my woman. Like I would, I mean, from my guy, I was just it was even throughout the day. We get to see him equally. I would never keep her from him, but
I just think as a physical thing, as
Yeah.
biological, because the baby comes from us and it comes from our womb. I think that biologically there is just a different connection um,
Yeah.
that
and
we
Yeah.
if I had
have to our children.
But
So I
and if
agree.
I had a
when do y'all
boy
tap into
after
the
a
need of the
certain age,
children?
I would give him to
Hold
my
on, Darren.
father.
I'm getting into that. So
Yeah, if I had a
I
boy after a certain age, I would give
yeah,
him
When
I
do
to
y'all
my
agree.
get past biologically and tap into the actual needs of the child? When did y'all get past the biological
that.
connection or the
But
selfish
that's what
emotional connection with the child and actually start tapping into what's actually best for the child? Like, at what point does that happen?
I think
emotions
that
affect
I'm
your
always thinking
brain.
about what's best for my child. At no point am I ever not thinking about
But
what's
what
in
if
the
I told you
best
in mass, on a mass scale,
Yeah.
that even though women know that statistics show and data shows that the child is better off with the father, they still would prefer the child to stay with them, even in poverty.
I would like to see it.
I,
I
I
I
just
I
I
I, I,
don't
mean,
can, I can say this. I can say this. I can give y'all my own personal experience, right? My son was experiencing hella problems with his mother, right? Like, I mean, problems in school, getting in trouble, depression, a lot of other things, right? Failing, straight F's, right? And I said, man, I offered to be like, hey, look, I think he should come down here with us. Give me a chance to see if I can right this ship. And she told me, if you lived closer, I would let him live with you.
mm,
But because you stay so far away from me and I would not be able to see him as much, even though she knows that's exactly what I've had to experience for 13 years.
yeah.
She wasn't willing to experience what I experienced for the sake of him.
For the
Here's
sake
the
of the
kicker.
child.
I got custody of him. And even with me having custody, she fought me on custody, even though everybody around us, the judge, the guardian ad litem, which is, I don't know if y'all know what that is, but that's a lawyer that only speaks on the behalf of the child.
Hmm.
Despite everybody agreeing that he should be with me, she still felt like I'm the better option.
So that's what
That's
I think.
Hold on, wait.
Yeah.
Sweeney,
and I
right?
feel like
So Sweeney,
enough dads
does
aren't
that
doing
mean
that.
that does
Enough
that mean
dads
that the
aren't doing
woman
what you're doing.
does that mean that it's more than just an emotional connection? Does it mean that it's actually
It's
some
selfishness,
maliciousness
bro.
or selfishness
No,
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 that
involved in
it's
doesn't
that?
mean nothing.
selfishness.
Why can't it be both? Why can't it be women
Well,
who do it
hold
for
on,
their
hold on, y'all.
selfish, malicious needs
Let me
and
try to. That's what it is, though. It is a selfishness because of the attachment that y'all are talking about. So it's going to need you're going to need to be separated from the child by force. So when you say like that, enough men aren't doing we can't. It's not fair. It's not fair. The children need to be forced onto their fathers the same way they was forced onto the mother. We should care less about what men want, what women want, if we're using the term what's in the best interest of the child. I don't care what a man wants. Run him that kid. Drop the luggage off at his doorstep and say your son is here, your daughter is here. Everybody got to figure it out. You did the deed, the woman got pregnant, that's your penance. Raise this child. Um
I agree.
there is something that I wanted to say because every time I I watch y'all, it's not that we are trying to not hold men accountable because I have a daughter now, so I look at things kind of different. The reason why we speak to women so intensely when we're talking about children is because y'all up first. All the responsibility is front loaded on your side. I thought about it like this: like I look at how different my son and my daughter are. And I don't worry about my son at all. He is me already. He like a little soldier. Yes, daddy. Yes, sir. Yes, I don't have to worry about him. If he get a girl pregnant, I can make him do anything. I can make him take care of that situation and be a man and do that. I worry about my daughter because if she don't do things the right way, she bringing all her problems back to me. Daughters tend to do that. My sister did that to my father. You see what I'm saying? So when y'all get pregnant, that nigga that did it, he don't die in the delivery room. I got to worry about my daughter's health, right? If I can't find him, she got to be on my insurance. So when we talk about this, I just want y'all to understand there's a bit of concern that we have because not only do all of your hopes and dreams get put on hold, do they not? He can just go on about life. I know dudes in the Navy when I was in there that they thought they got a girl pregnant in Germany or Australia. They just got back on the ship and left. Right? So that's really what you're hearing is more of an urgency to let women know, hey, this can ruin your life. That dude got a lot of ways to dip out, but you don't. So, I know every dude up here, they husbands, they fathers. We're not out here trying to not hold men accountable because we are accountable men. But we're trying to let you know the urgency as women that, look, this is nothing to be played around with. And y'all do hold the key to sex. That's all.
If I tell you this story now, why does it matter to you so much to say that I'm trying to assassinate somebody's character?
Yeah, and that's not what I'm saying.
I'm not. Yeah. I know that's not what you're saying to me personally.
That's what you're saying to women.
Yeah, it's
everything you say generally. If someone is a part of a Me Too movement, they take it personally.
If they do, they have a weakness.
I want to double back and say this. I'm a grown man. I'm a 35-year-old man that ain't scared of nobody. But if I think about my abuse long enough, I'll sit on this podcast and cry. With millions of dollars, can fight anybody. You take me back to that childhood boy who was helpless in those moments. It's gonna get me. I'm saying there's too many people that can relate to this.
Thank you for your transparency, for your vulnerability. It's hard for me to hold my tears back listening to you.
It takes strength to have empathy. It takes strength to receive 5 other people accomplished in all sorts of ways.
Yeah.
Just imploring you, think on it. Strength, somebody being able to raise their hand and say, me too. Protecting women, so much bigger than just physical. There's a woman right here. If you look at her, I believe your words are hurting.